Hey there. So, I have a question for you. When do you think the First World War ended? If you said November 11th, 1918, at the 11th hour, you're right, of course. That's the official answer. The Armistice. But history, as I've found, is rarely that neat. The truth is, the last lethal shot of that catastrophic war wasn't fired in the mud of France or the mountains of Italy. It was fired under a blazing tropical sun on a remote speck of an island in the Indian Ocean, and it happened 2 whole days after the war was supposed to be over. This is a story about how a global war found its final, bizarre echo in a place almost nobody had heard of. Welcome back. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is Flashpoints, the wars that shaped us. Today, we're heading to the Cocos Islands. Picture this: 2 tiny atolls, a few dozen people, thousands of coconut palms, and a crucial telegraph cable station linking the British Empire from Australia to South Africa. It's November 1914. The war is only months old, and a German light cruiser, the SMS Emden, is on a legendary raiding spree across the Indian Ocean, a ghost ship terrorizing Allied commerce. Its captain, Karl von Muller, is a chivalrous and brilliant officer. Even his enemies admit that. And he sets his sights on the Cocos telegraph station to cut that vital communications link. He lands a 50-man shore party to destroy the equipment. But as they work, an Australian warship, the HMAS Sydney, appears on the horizon, alerted by a desperate distress call. What follows is a brutal naval battle. The Sydney, with its heavier guns, cripples the Emden, forcing it to run aground on a coral reef. Von Muller surrenders. It's a huge morale boost for the Allies, a story told and retold. But that's 1914. Our story, the real strange ending, is set exactly 4 years later. The Emden is a rusting wreck on the reef. The world has been through the hell of Verdun, the Somme, Passchendaele. And on November 11th, 1918, the guns finally fall silent in Europe. The news flashes around the world via telegraph cables, including the one repaired on the Cocos Islands. The garrison there, a mix of British and Indian troops, celebrates. The nightmare is over. For them, stationed in this peaceful, lonely outpost, the war is now a matter of waiting for a ship to take them home. But there's a problem. A deep, festering problem within the garrison itself. You see, the core of the force is the 5th Light Infantry, a regiment of Punjabi Muslims from modern-day Pakistan. They were garrisoned in Singapore before being sent to Cocos. And in Singapore, they had been exposed to the ideas of the Ghadar Party, a revolutionary movement seeking to overthrow British rule in India. German agents had even tried to stir up mutiny among them earlier in the war. The British officers, perhaps willfully, ignored the rising tension. They maintained strict, often racially tinged discipline. The Indian soldiers were treated as inferior, their religious sensibilities sometimes disregarded. The end of the war didn't erase that bitterness. If anything, it sharpened it. Why were they still here, guarding an empire that denied them their freedom, when the war they were enlisted to fight was won? So on the night of November 12th, 1918, a full day after the Armistice, a plot crystallizes. A group of soldiers, led by a man named Subedar Major Chisti Khan, decide to act. They seize arms, kill their British sergeant major, and take control of the island. Their plan, as far as one existed, seems to have been to commandeer the garrison's ship, the Nirana, and sail to India to join the independence struggle. It's a desperate, almost impossible scheme, born of long-simmering resentment and a sudden, post-war clarity. They were not going home as heroes of the empire, but as its subjects. Now, imagine the scene. A tiny, flat island. Palm trees. The sound of the surf. And then, gunshots in the night. The mutineers round up the remaining British officers and the civilian cable station staff. But the operation is messy. They fail to secure the Nirana immediately because, crucially, they don't have a crew who can actually sail it. And in the confusion, a junior British officer, Lieutenant John Kerr, manages to escape into the dense coconut groves. He makes his way to the cable station, and with incredible courage, he sends a Morse code distress signal. But the mutineers control the station. They discover him, and in a final, tragic scuffle, Lieutenant Kerr is shot and killed. That gunshot, on the morning of November 13th, 1918, is almost certainly the last combat death of the First World War. a young British officer killed by Indian soldiers of his own side on a peaceful island 2 days after peace was declared. The mutiny collapses almost as quickly as it began. The Nirana's crew remains loyal and trains the ship's guns on the mutineers. The civilian cable staff, mostly Australians, are released. The mutineers, realizing the hopelessness of their situation, surrender. A few days later, a British warship arrives, arrests the ringleaders, and restores order. The whole event was over in less than 24 hours. In the grand sweep of history, it was a minor blip. But that's exactly why it fascinates me. Because this isn't just a footnote. It's a flashpoint where the old world order and the new world collided. The First World War was sold to the colonies as a war for freedom and civilization. Millions of Indian, African, and Asian soldiers fought and died for that promise. The Cocos Mutiny was the moment that promise was revealed as hollow. These soldiers saw the empire's weakness, its exhaustion, and they decided, in that specific, ill-fated moment, that their fight was not for the empire, but against it. The war to end all wars had, in its final gasp, ignited a different kind of war. The war for national self-determination that would define the rest of the 20th century. I think about this a lot. Living in New York, a city built by immigrants and shaped by dreams of independence. As an engineer, I'm trained to look for the point of failure, the moment a system fractures under stress. The Cocos Islands mutiny is a profound point of failure for the imperial system. The stress of a global war created a crack, and through it, you can see the future, the end of the British Raj, the partition of India, the unraveling of all the colonial maps drawn in European capitals. That last shot on Cocos wasn't just the end of one conflict. It was a first, violent echo of the conflicts to come. So, the next time someone mentions November 11th, 1918, as the end of the Great War, you'll know a deeper truth. The war didn't end with a single signature on a railway carriage. It ended with a confused and bloody struggle on a remote island. A struggle that proved that the ideas unleashed by the war, ideas of freedom, sovereignty, and justice, could not be contained by an armistice. The war shaped the world by breaking the old one, and the Cocos Mutiny is one of those sharp, broken edges where you can see the fracture line perfectly. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this story of history's strange echoes, please share this episode with someone who'd appreciate it. For the full archive of Flashpoints, visit our producers at Light Not Studios, lightnotstudios.com. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi. Until next time, take care.